It's up to the person. It's up to the person. It's a free choice. You want to be an employee, you choose to be an employee. You want to be an entrepreneur, you choose to be an entrepreneur, but you've got to study. They're two different people. What you have to study is different. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, they're different people. An entrepreneur is extremely different than an employee. But it's a different study. The trouble is our school system trains us to be employees. Go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, pay your taxes, get out of debt, and invest in the stock market. That makes you poor.
Well, if you're going to be educated, a person has to know there's been credit and debt. And that's why I'm mentioning the demographics, because the average person is not smart enough to handle that. All money today is credit. It doesn't exist. Credit is very simply the power to spend. That's all it is. So when you have a credit card, there's no money in that thing. They've just given you the power to spend. And the moment you spend it, you create debt. And then a debt is this contractual agreement that you'll pay it back. Now the trouble is, most people ain't paying it back. Look at the student loan crisis we're in, which was brought about by Obama. I'm not Republican or Democrat, but the student loans used to be with the big banks. Today, they're with the U.S. Treasury. And the U.S. Treasury started taking in student loan debt, giving them credit, and now student loan debt is bigger than the subprime crisis that brought down the market in 2008. That's financial education. What's wrong with the crash? That's what people don't understand. Crashes are really good.
Yeah.
You know, crashes are basically like Neiman Marcus having a sale.
Right.
So in 2008, when the markets crashed, they also lowered the interest rates. I thought I died and went to heaven. That means I get my debt cheaper.
Yeah.
So when the markets crashed, my partners and I borrowed $300 million and we bought more property.
Wow.
And so 10 years later, we're now almost $600 million in debt. We just passed $500 million.
Right.
But we get very rich off of debt. But that takes financial education. And that's why I created the cash flow board game.
Yeah.
Cash flow is the only board game that encourages you to use debt. If you don't know how to use debt, then follow Dave Ramsey's rule of live debt-free.
I use debt as money. And everybody thinks getting in debt is bad. Well, who told you that? I think the stock market is for losers. Why would you put money in the stock market when it's manipulated? In the Bible, because the words become flesh. Go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, get out of debt, invest in the stock market, buy a house, buy a car. Until you question that, you're hypnotized. You'll be a poor person all your life. I'm trying to explain to you, when they tell you get out of debt, that's stupid because the money is debt. And the only way money gets out of debt is via taxes. I questioned all that. Why would I save money when they print money? That's what happened in 1971 when President Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. They can print as much as they like. Then they tell you, so that you go to school, you get a job, you become an employee. You pay taxes because you're working for money. Then they tell you to save money. Do you know why they tell you to save money? Because the system of banking, it's nothing to do with communism or capitalism. It's the banks run the world. The rich run the world. They don't care if you're communist or capitalist. So when you save, so let's say you save $1 US or €1, 1 yen, the banking system can lend out 10. So the entire system is called the fractional reserve system. The fractional reserve system is also printing money. And then they tell you to save money. So they want you to save money so they can lend out your money 10 times. So your dollar became worthless 10 times over. And then they used to pay you 10% interest on your money. Now it's at best 1%. And they're still lending it out 10 times. So that's why you don't save money, is because your money is becoming worth less and less and less and less and less. The banks are getting richer and richer and richer. So how do I get rich? I borrow money and I buy assets with it. the poor person borrows money and buys liabilities like purses, cars, houses, and they get poorer and poorer and poorer.